funded by the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland with the television licence fee.
This is the Be Loud Glade, a series of experimental podcasts presenting views and opinions about the Irish contemporary poetry scene, from the vantage points of both page and stage, that is, from publishing and performance. Each program also includes a contemporary poem set to specially composed music. In this edition, we hear from the performance poet Stephen Clare, followed by his poem TGIF, with music composed by Roger Gregg.
I think you can afford for a song or a speech even to not be entirely your truth. You can embellish. And you can embellish in poetry too, but I think the core of it is this representation of you. Because if you're representing your truth, to me, you just have an undeniably good poem. Maybe I won't like it. Maybe no one will like it. But you can't deny someone's truth. The value of the poem can't be denied just because I don't like it. If it's your truth, it's your truth. I view poetry as an avenue to give a voice to everyone. You can come and it's a forum where you can say your truth as you feel. This is what it's like for me. This is what I think. This is what I imagine. This is just it. Slam makes me kind of uncomfortable because how can you be competing truths? How can you be saying this person has something inherently more valuable to say than this other person? I mean, maybe one person has something more relatable, maybe one person has something more political, but everyone is equal. Everyone just exists. Everyone has their truth. But, I mean, you're on a stage. It is a performance. You are not being entirely authentic. But the poem wasn't written on a stage. The poem wasn't written in front of people. When it was actually being created, I would hope that the artist truly felt this authentic vulnerability, that they were representing themselves in that moment, their feelings as truthfully as they could. And then the performance aspect, that's just a performance. That is getting up and basically acting as you felt then. The words and the structure and everything are, that's all technical craft. You can argue that it can be objectively measured as good or bad, that you actually can look at a poem and say that's a very pretty word, or those are very nice words, those are very well put together. And there is huge value in that. But that is historically the position that poetry has held. I would say that's a very academic viewpoint to take. And that, in recent decades or centuries, I think has restricted people from appreciating poetry or even liking it. I think it's actually one of the reasons most people, when they study poetry in school, dislike it, because they're forced to appreciate structure and language use and linguistics over meaning. People can relate to meaning. I would say with poetry, the way it's been taught in schools, you're handing someone ice cream and they taste it and they say, that's okay. And you say, no, you don't. No, it's not okay. This is exceptional ice cream. And allow me to tell you exactly how this ice cream was made. And then you give it to them again and you say, do you taste it now? But if you keep relaying in great detail the process of making ice cream to them and telling them that it's really great ice cream, like with all of that in mind, taste it again, they're slowly going to grow to dislike the ice cream purely because you are ramming this need to appreciate it in their face. Because if you want to be a poet, absolutely the technical stuff is important. You should study it. You should be intimately aware of it. You should play around with it. You should see what you like, what other people like. You should know it and you should hold it in esteem. But you shouldn't expect your audience to. They should just appreciate the finished product. Your role as an artist is to use all of the technical stuff you have at your disposal to get your message across to your audience in a manner that they will like and understand, and in the case of poetry, that is truthful and accurate. There shouldn't be an extensive focus on the technical aspects used. Slam and performance poetry is this movement, this very protestful movement away from holding the technical aspects as important. They are still important in slam, but they are less important. You can structure things as you want. You can have a structure or not. You can speak very eloquently or at great length, or you can be very brief. But the core of it is that in slam and performance poetry that you're representing yourself truly, that you're bringing something of value. and the technical aspects are somewhat secondary. And I think that would be because people would feel alienated from poetry, and have felt alienated from poetry, because they view it as this very pretentious ivory tower art form that requires extensive study to understand and appreciate. The three of us sit around a table for 6 and bleed coins together into tipsy piles. He walks us again to the hotel ground at 4 a.m. where freezing concrete stung the bare back of just another friend while he was meant to be sleeping. She wears heavy words and ringlets that dance along to his story and spits clichés into her glass where they clink against ice, lonely and clear. I roll up my fingernails to show off 2 years of rotted soil that I refuse to wash away. It still smells like wet grass behind a party tent where I was gently told that kisses don't mean anything. We comment about how being used and being given purpose are really kind of similar in a sick, cosmic joke sort of way, while opening each other's wounds and grudgingly whispering through clenched straws that this, too, is love.
That was Stephen Clare performing his poem TGIF, set to music composed by Roger Gregg and sung by Juliet Crosby. Originally broadcast by RTE Lyric FM and funded by the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland, Roger Gregg's Be Loud Glade is a Dead Medium production with executive producer Gareth Stack.
You lot aren't ready for bingo. Just give me a second.